The super evolution of Gear 5 has been anticipated since we found out that the skulls were in-game. And in today's video, we're not only going to have a look at what the unit does and the changes, but we're going to take a look at his best buddies, best units, and how to build teams for this particular unit. Now, if you guys didn't check it out, I put out a shorts a couple hours ago, actually, to do with the pros and cons of this unit. If you guys want to see something like a 6-star versus 6+ video, let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button. But basically, they do two very different things. So the units are very different in the sense that one removes Bind and Special Reverse, one removes Despair, one's a Rainbow Captain, one's built on damage, and the other one is built on utility. Either way you look at it, both units are phenomenal, and it depends on where you prioritize or what you prioritize most in the game, being like Super Boss Kazuna, high damage teams, rather than stuff like easiness and availability to clear content. But like I said, in today's video, we are going to break down his best buddies, his best friends, and how to team build with this particular unit. With that said, let's dive in. Alright, here he is, Gear 5, 6+, beating Drum of Liberation. Now, as I mentioned, the big change to this particular unit is that he doesn't remove Bind and Special Reverse anymore, but he removes Despair. He's a true Rainbow Captain, so you can run literally any unit you like under him, and you get 2 turns of cooldown at the start of the quest. With his special now, he also gives an attack boost for 3 times, and then further increases the slot effects by 0.25. He does a 3 times orb boost, and then increases the attack boost if you already have an attack boost, though. So if you run 2 of them, you get 4 turns of cooldown, 2 6 times captains, and he makes every orb favorable to himself. He makes tandem, recovery, and all type slots at a 2.75 times multiplier, and then also is your attack and orb booster. So the upside to this guy is you can literally just run anything on the team under him, and he is going to give them some sort of buff in some sort of way. The downside that I do find to this particular unit comparing to the other unit is that with Gear 5, he's a 3 times attack boost, or a 3.25, which is kind of lackluster nowadays. We've had characters like Toki that's doing 3.5s. You have stuff like Super Tandem Luffy that can get up to a 3.5. You have Kaido who's doing 3.75. So there's a lot of other units in the game that are doing insanely high buffs. For this particular unit to only do a 3 times attack boost or a 3 times orb boost, it's a little bit lackluster, but he does have this very interesting mechanic where he gives a 2.75 times slot instead of a 2 times, which is very, very big. The upside to this particular character, though, and if you can team build him right, is that if you have one of every type on the team, he is super effective against all types and makes all type and class restrictions affect all characters, excluding restrictions from position, rarity, cost, character, launching special, all that kind of stuff. So, for example, if you ran something like Zoro underneath this Luffy to be a slasher attack booster, you would get an attack boost for the entire crew. This ability opens the door and it creates so much flexibility for this particular character. The thing with this unit too, though, is you do want to try and get 3 of the following characters, being the Straw Hats, Yamato, Law, Kid, Momo, on the team as well, so that way you can get access to his Super EX, which he has to be a captain for, getting around special Super Block, and giving you additional damage. Making all types Super type, by the way. Literally a rainbow booster, Super type for every color in the game, which is just absolutely insane. This particular unit with a level 5 rush is going to go absolutely bonkers. So let's take a look at what some captains you could hybrid him up with, and some units that are going to work exceptionally well alongside this particular character. So straight off the bat, 6-star Gear 5 Luffy will most likely, if not be, his best friend. As a captain, this particular unit has the revive mechanic, but he's also a 4.5 times attack boost to every type in the game. 5 times actually, but he also boosts Psy and Free Spirit characters by 6 times. Now that's giving, when he's in Gear 5 obviously, now that's going to give the 6+ Gear 5 Luffy a double 6 times attack boost, Bind removal, Despair removal, Special Reverse removal, and the ability to go through defensive effects. So this particular unit, as a friend captain, in my opinion, is going to be the 6+'s best friend. I still believe investing in the 6+ is going to be is better moving forward, and then just running a friend captain of this particular Gear 5, or running a friend captain that has rush level 5. That way you're maximizing your damage output, your utility, as well as having a unit that has a level 5 rush, because you can't run both of them with level 5 rush anyway. So the synergy between the two is exceptional. On top of that, when you activate this guy's special, his 3.25 times orb boost for Psy and Free Spirit characters is going to be for everyone. And then that color affinity boost, the 3 times color affinity boost, it's also going to be for everyone, because you have that ability that changes type and classes into the ability to affect everyone. So straight off the bat, Gear 5 Luffy is going to be his best friend. As for other units that you can use, if you want to hone in on the one of every type situation, you do have a bunch of particular characters. Now, the first unit we have is Sengoku. Sengoku does seem like he's going to be a very, very good option as a partner for this particular Gear 5, because as a captain, he's a 5.5 times captain, which is very, very strong. And he has the ability to give one particular unit a 4 times attack and a 4 times orb boost, provided you have one of every type on the crew. So you could just hone in all your damage onto Gear 5 if you have an attack and an orb boost, so you're going to increase that orb boost as well, and you're going to do some pretty fun stuff there with this particular character. On top of that, his entire batch, the Kizaru, Sengoku, the Kizaru, Akainu, and Kuzan, are all going to work exceptionally as subs. Now, this particular Kainu especially is a guaranteed conditional boost when you have one of every type on the team. And remember, all of these units are going to work because you are rainbow boosting on top of turning everyone's specials into rainbow specials as well. So you're getting a lot of fun stuff. You can increase the orb boost with Kuzan. Unfortunately, you'd want someone that increases the attack boost. And then Kizaru, I believe, is a chain boundary unit. So these particular rare recruits are exceptionally powerful for Gear 5 as well. But the big one is obviously Sengoku himself. You do have Magellan with his level limit break. You have another option here if you want to do some fun stuff with poison and stalling out and whatnot. But look, he's not a great option. I just wanted to sort of include him. You also have Arlon crew. But then you have 2 6+. You have Jumanji, who's going to be an exceptional partner for this unit because he boosts fighter characters now, which Gear 5 actually is. As long as you have one of every type on the crew, you get the resistance down as well. Plus, the special of this unit can also affect fighters, which obviously Luffy is as well. You're also getting the chain shenanigans with their swap and whatnot too. And then you have the Big Mom, the 6+ Big Mom that came a couple months ago. She's a very, very good unit as well in terms of being one of every type. So that way you can get a lot of fun stuff there. I believe she also is... does she do condition? No, she doesn't. She's just a chain locker. So she's not exactly the best unit, but she's also base stats. But as you guys can see, you do have some hybrid options when it comes to these particular units. If you want to go really crazy too, you could do some really fun stuff with Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard's kind of that unit that sort of just bypasses barriers, but you need one of every type of the primary classes. So I just wanted to include him here just because, like, if you wanted to do some crazy stuff with him or even, like, stuff with Tesoro, you could go absolutely crazy with those units. As for free spirit hybrids, Luffy is going to have a plethora of options. Super Tandem Luffy obviously is going to be a great shout. He can be your orb booster, and then you can use this Luffy as an attack booster. You have base stats with this Luffy, and then you can also use this Luffy Super Tandem to then build up a absolute monstrous attack for the rush ability of Gear 5, 6+, and that way you're just hitting at the back end. Both of them need Straw Hats as well, so that's going to satisfy both the Super Class as well as the Super Type. The Super Tandem as well as the Rush. The Super EX. Wow, I can't get my words right. And you can do some really, really cool stuff with just those two as captains. You're getting a lot of extra damage. You've got a lot of despair removal here, though. That's probably their only clash. But as a captain, you are getting very, very powerful abilities with the two of them together with that Super Tandem every turn. Next, you've got some good utility with Ace and Yamato. You have special bind removal. You have bind removal with this particular character as well. You have chain boundary. They're an attack booster, so then Luffy becomes your orb booster. And you can do some really fun stuff there. You get a conditional boost with burn, and plus being a Yamato, you actually activate that Super EX as well. Next, we've got Nami, another very powerful Straw Hat, a very powerful Super Tandem as well. The downside to using Nami is she's a Psy character, so it does make it a little bit more challenging, as you are now restricted to bringing the colors as your subs, rather than running a different color captain. That way you don't have to worry about building out the team for the rest of your subs being different colors. With Ace Yamato, you're covered with 2 colors, so you can basically just switch between them, whichever one you need for the team. And remember, Gear 5 is still going to work no matter what. You just get that super effect against all types when you have one of every type. Next, we've got Zoro, and basically any of the anniversary batch are all going to work exceptionally well with this particular Gear 5. His captain ability does give cooldowns to strength, dex, and quick, but he's captain boost free spirit. So Free Spirits are going to get an absolute plethora of damage output with this unit, especially if I have him at Super Time level 5. You can get that Captain action off too, and then have 2 units doing rainbow damage, which is awesome. His special does a conditional against increased damage taken, and then Luffy can actually apply that increased damage taken. Plus, he's an attack booster. Luffy then becomes your orb booster. He increases this attack boost, and you can do some really fun stuff there. And then finally, we've got Super Tandem Law. Kind of dropped off a little bit, but another very good Super Tandem unit. Needs Luffy in his Captain ability for the super class, so you can do some fun stuff there with some conditional boosting there as well. So Free Spirit have some very good units. On top of Free Spirit, you've also got Kid and Law, one of the newer Super Sugos that was made for Gear 5. This particular unit unlocks the door to stuff like Big Mom and other driven characters, as this is one of the only Free Spirit driven units in the game. The reason I say that is because if you run Kid Law as your captain, you have a driven captain, and then if you have characters that need particular specials for captain to be driven, they can activate that ability. The downside to Luffy's ability to make every special rainbow, it still has the restriction of if your captain is XYZ, then you get that ability. With Kid Law, you can then use something like Big Mom. Big Mom needs driven to be your captain. You can use the 2 conditional boosts, but then that conditional boost is based around for everyone. Like that, everyone's going to get that conditional boost no matter what. Next, you've got Verse Yamato, another character that's great at buffing the Super X. She's an attack booster. She's another Super Tandem unit, so you can use her Super Tandem and do some fun stuff there. These characters are both different colors to what Gear 5 is, being Int and being Dex. Any other color is going to work great, because then it opens the door to just have 1 extra slot on your team to just put any color that you want. Remember, that is the big restriction to Gear 5 Luffy 6+, is 1 of every type. But remember, you can chuck on any unit you want, and you are going to get that unit's abilities, provided it states that, or doesn't state, like, your captain needs to be XYZ. Next, you've got Robin. Robin is a double conditional boost user. Her and Big Mom are the only 2 in the game. She's exceptionally powerful, plus she's going to activate the Super EX. We then have Sanji with captain swapping, chain boundaries, all that sort of fun stuff as well. You won't get this guy's rush because you'll want to use Gear 5's rush, but in certain situations, his utility, as well as his ability to give you chain boundary and chain buffing, is going to be really, really nice too. Next, we've got Toki. Toki's an interesting character I want to include, because getting that Toki ability onto Gear 5 is going to be really strong. That way, you can just bypass everything as your captains, on top of getting a 3.5 times attack and orbis. Remember, Gear 5 with his rush is going to do so much damage if you satisfy the condition of every type, so that's something fun that you guys can do. As for other rainbow captains, you do have some pretty good options here too. You have Straw Hat Crew V2. This was the original unit to have that ability to make all specials affect everyone, so that's always fun. Then we've got units like Roger. Roger's fantastic. The clash with Roger, though, is he is going to be Despair Removal as well. Roger's a Psy unit, but the attack boost Roger can give means that Luffy can be a Orb booster, which is always fun. Then you've got stuff like Odin. If you're a newer player, you could probably have not 6+ Odin, but you'll have the 6-star at least with that free-to-play login. He is a Rainbow booster, giving Wano Orbs as well, and then you can just do some really fun stuff with Friend Captain Luffy's. Then we've got Rayleigh Gaban, really, really good sub for Gear 5 Luffy, on top of being a really good Friend Captain if you guys wanted stuff like Attack Down removal. The Attack Down removal is very, very handy for 10 turns. Plus, they can also increase their attack boost when you have taken a certain amount of damage. Well, sorry, when they are a crewmate, and then they can be your orb boost, and then Luffy can buff the orb boost too. So you can do some really fun stuff with those 2 units. And then finally, we've got Shanks Crew. Shanks Crew, special bind removal, end of turn damage, chain locking. He's a very good unit. He can be the quick typing as well. And just a phenomenal unit to just sort of blitz through a particular piece of content if you're looking for utility options. The final page that I have here is kind of like the weird ones. Now, all these units are all units that you probably wouldn't stereotypically see used alongside something like Gear 5. First of all, we have Big Mom, the new Big Mom. And the new Kaido will probably fall on this tier list as well. I don't know if he buffs everyone, though. I can't remember his kit. But the new Big Mom, her captain ability is a 5.25 attack boost to Driven and Powerhouse characters. But then she's a 4.75 times attack boost to all other characters. So she's still going to be buffing Luffy, and then you can do some really cool stuff with her alongside Luffy. Obviously, his rush isn't going to hit as hard as some of the other options we've spoken about, but you definitely can do this for her double conditional shenanigans if you can't use something like Robin. Then you got Dofi. Dofi needs Luffy for his super class, so that's the reason I put him here. He's going to turn his attack and orb boost into like everyone's. but by 2.25, he gives matching orbs. So as you can see, you can do some really fun stuff there. Remember, the ability of Luffy doesn't apply to stuff like superclasses and stuff like that. It's only specials, but it's still pretty nice. The Crocodile that came in for the treasure map around the same time, he needs a Luffy in his superclass too, so you can do some fun stuff there. His captain ability also does buff everyone as well, so you can do some chain boundary stuff there. Then you got Katakuri, who buffs fighter characters, and you can do some really fun stuff there. All Katakuris have that ability to buff everyone too. And then finally you have Super Tandem Shanks. Now Super Tandem Shanks is an interesting one, because remember, Luffy's going to be super effective against all types. Shanks isn't exactly the best unit to be using as a friend captain in this regard, but he is definitely a unit that you guys can use, so then you can activate stuff like his super type and whatnot as well. Provided you're looking at that sort of stuff. But these is the weird ones page. Then finally we have some options with some other sort of options that you can do depending on what the content provides. Luffy, Yamato, they are just a fantastic unit. They're more built around the Free Spirit Strength X Quick Team, so you really wouldn't want to use them too much with Gear 5. You want to use them on their own, but look, they can definitely be an option. You've got the XP options of Momo and Marco. You can do full Psy teams, because remember, you don't need all that shenanigans that Luffy does. But you can just do some stuff there with Marco and Fighters, or you can do stuff with Free Spirits and Momo. That's definitely going to work out for you guys as well. Then you've got Utility Gods in a Sabo with their bind removal, their special bind removal as a captain. They're an orb booster, so Luffy can be your attack booster. And then if you can't or don't want to find, you need to move a bit faster than what the regular Gear 5 provides, you can actually use Carrot. Now, Carrot is going to buff fighters, which is awesome because the Gear 5 Luffy is, and then you can just bypass barriers and stuff like that as well. But that's going to wrap up the video for the best buddies of Gear 5. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of the unit in the comment section below. And if you guys have any other ideas of what units are going to work very well with this particular character, let me know down below as well. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!